Picky eaters, we all have them, and if you're like me, you want everyone to be happy at your holiday table. So today I have 3 meal ideas to share with you that are going to satisfy even your pickiest eaters because it's going to allow them to choose their ingredients. If you're new here, my name is Karen. Welcome to my home. My son and daughter-in-law are coming tomorrow to celebrate Christmas with us as well as both of their birthdays, so I have a little bit of a grocery haul to show you. I've decided to do 2 soups, one tortilla soup and one zuppa toscano soup, as well as a charcuterie board that people can either make sandwiches or salad from. So over here I have various broths. This is the one I actually needed, and we have a birthday cake with some little numbers, various bacons for the soup, and various lettuces that I will throw together. Farmer's Garden, some romaine, some sweetheart, and iceberg. Then yellow onions, red onion for sandwiches, rice pudding just cuz. Then I have various fruits that I'll put on the board. Strawberries, grapes, blueberries, raspberries, bananas, pineapple, watermelon. And then of course chips for those that have sandwiches because they're going to be here for lunch and supper. Orange juice, milk, just cuz, goat cheese for the board, as well as ham, provolone, American cheese. We also have salami on hand. Hot dogs, I think just cuz. We have 2 different ranch dips, the sausage for the soup, and then pickles for sandwiches. This is a just cuz. We'll have this one night. It's a chuck shoulder. These my daughter loves, and they're hard to get these days, so whatever we see it, we buy it. Then freezer bags, small trash bags, black beans, 2 different types of breadcrumbs, just things we needed. Peppermint tea, Lipton, and green tea. Then over here, eggs. I'll be boiling up some hard-boiled eggs for if someone wants it like a Cobb salad. Then 2 cinnamon cake mixes, because that's my son's favorite, so he'll have that. My daughter-in-law will have the chocolate I already showed you, and some grapes that were hiding in the back, and I think that's about it, except for the salt, because things are getting icy. In this first meal idea, I'm making 2 soups at once: a zuppa toscana for meat lovers and a tortilla soup for veggie lovers. I'm going to get started with the zuppa by getting my bacon cooked, and I'm going to be cooking extra since I am doing both the zuppa and the charcuterie boards in this video. So I have some turkey bacon and I have some pork bacon, and I'm going back and forth on which to put in my soup because I think it's going to end up being the turkey bacon actually. So the first step is to cook bacon for your zuppa, and what I like to do is cook it in the oven, and then I reserve maybe a tablespoon or so of the bacon fat for flavoring in the soup. So normally you would do like 3 to 6 slices for a zuppa. I do an entire package because I'm going to be feeding a crowd. I find it so much faster to be cooking my bacon in a 425 degree oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. It comes out perfect. I do keep an eye on it. Every oven is different. So, you know, most people I think do 400 degrees, but I'm just not that patient. So it's so much easier and so much less mess. I have put some parchment paper down on my pans, and that helps it not to be such a big deal to clean up. This is a different turkey bacon than I usually have. This is nitrate free. They didn't have our normal Oscar Mayer turkey bacon, so it's fine. I have a double oven, so I'll be running both ovens. While the bacon's cooking, I'm going to get all of my vegetables chopped for both soups. So the zuppa is something that I have done so many times, I don't need a recipe. But the tortilla soup comes from the Oh How She Glows cookbook. This is an amazing cookbook, whether or not you are vegan or vegetarian. We love this cookbook. So For the tortilla soup, I need, a red bell pepper, which I don't have, so I'm going to substitute a green bell pepper, and onions, and I have zucchini right here. And then the only other vegetable I need is frozen corn, which of course is in the freezer and I can add later. And then the zuppa, I need to cut also some onion and some potatoes. So I'm going to do all the vegetables for both soups at once, and that will save me time. Once I've done that, I'm going to start my sausage cooking. I would start it, but it really needs the onion in it as well, so I might as well just cut up all my vegetables at once. I have a bag here for trash. And then what I like to do is I start with whatever is the cleanest of the vegetables that doesn't make a mess, move to the medium, the potato, and then this, which the skins get everywhere, so I do it last. If you're new to my channel, I am a mom of 7, mother-in-law to 2, and grandma to 2. I really want to help others like myself create a home environment that they love because I feel like it can fuel a life that you love. My kids are between 15 and 28 years old, and I have been married for 31 years. So I am taking all that I have learned over those 31 years, and I'm hoping to encourage and motivate all of you and help you in your homes. My normal video routine is to have one cleaning video per week, and a lot of times I will mix cooking or DIY projects or decorating projects around the home, and then one decluttering project and video per week. And so in January, I will be getting back to that schedule, and if that sounds good to you, then I invite you to subscribe by clicking that little red subscribe button, and then when the bell notification comes up, you'll want to click on all notifications, and then YouTube will let you know whenever I upload a new video. I invite you to read through my comment section now because you'll notice the most amazing, encouraging group of people down there, and I love to be chatting down in the comment section, so I hope that you'll say hello to me and let me know you're here so that I can greet you.
Christmas, it's a magical time full of kisses. Take a walk outside and tickle the snowman's nose. Moving nimbly, did you hear something from the chimney? I will keep you warm as soon as you remove that snow.
I'm finishing up my vegetable chopping, so that's a good thing because the bacon is ready to come out of the oven. So I like to put down these little heat mats. My sister actually made me these and I absolutely love them. And then I'm putting down the hot bacon. I'll get that off and on a plate with a paper towel to soak off some of that fat. And then I'll put another batch in the oven. I usually do a full package of bacon in my soup, but I'm making extra today because I know I'm going to be having the charcuterie board for supper. Now it's time to get going on my soup by sauteing some onion and garlic in both pans. And then to the zuppa, I'll be adding the sausage and cooking it up. What I like to get for sausage is this Jimmy Dean hot sausage. This way I don't have to add red pepper flakes to my zuppa. I can just have the heat in the sausage. If I don't have this, then I would probably be adding about 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon of red pepper flakes at the end. I'm starting out with some avocado oil. what would that be? 3 tablespoons maybe in both. And then I'm dividing up my yellow onion between the 2 of them. And then it is never too early to add salt. And I'm also adding some black pepper to both. I usually like to wait until the onion is almost done to add garlic, so I don't have to worry about my garlic burning. I hate the taste of bitter, burnt garlic. Just realized I forgot to cut my bell pepper, so I'm going to do that real quick now, but it doesn't go into the tortilla soup until after the onions have been sauteed, so we're good. I'm going to add my garlic. Now the tortilla soup asks for 3 large cloves. I don't measure, I just scoop. We love garlic, so more is more. I'm going to give that a stir and then I can move on. Alright, now in here for the zuppa I'm going to add my sausage. Here's one more look at the kind of sausage that I like to buy. If you can't get the hot, just use the regular, like I said, and then when you have all your soup together, then you can add, you know, however much red pepper flakes you like. Sometimes we even let people add it individually to their soup, but I usually add a quarter teaspoon really. If you like it spicy, then you might do a half. Okay, so while this is cooking, I'll keep scrambling it, but I'm going to move over to my tortilla soup. And my trusty recipe says to add bell pepper, jalapeno if you're using it, which we're not, which would be 1 jalapeno, corn kernels, which is 1.5 cups, and a zucchini, and I'm going to saute this for 10 more minutes. So, here's my 1.5 cups of frozen corn. They actually said 1 medium zucchini, but I cut 2, so I'm going to use 2. I'm also adding my bell pepper. And I'm going to let that cook up for 10 minutes. I do set a timer just because I can't be trusted. I have this on medium heat. With this sausage, normally in a zuppa you would only use 1/3 of the package, but I'm cooking for a crowd, so I use the whole thing. The worst thing that will happen is that we'll have leftovers that we can be eating through the week. So my sausage is all cooked through, and since I'm done making bacon, I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of bacon fat to my zuppa just for flavor. If you are on a keto diet or a low carb diet, then you could easily use this recipe and just substitute cauliflower for the potatoes. Alright, so now that that's all cooked up, I'm going to add my potatoes. What I like to do is I do 1 potato for every person that I think will eat the soup. So when you have a crowd, you might not know how many. I just guessed and added 1. So I did what I thought might eat it, and then I just added 1 more. Now I'm just going to cover this with chicken broth and let the potatoes cook. Now you can cut up your bacon and add it at this point. In fact, it'd probably be good because then, you know, the bacon is going to infuse its flavor into the potatoes. I'm going to wait only because I got another soup to take care of over here. I'll be adding more broth later, but for now I'm just going to let the potatoes cook in the broth that I have. So over here, my 10 minutes is up. So another quick stir for this. There's my timer. Over here to my tortilla soup, I'm adding 14.5 ounce can of I'm adding diced tomato, although the recipe calls for crushed tomatoes. Then I'm also adding 2 teaspoons of cumin, approximately, and a ½ teaspoon of chili powder. I'll let that stir. And then I'm also adding a teaspoon of salt. They call for sea salt. I'm using table salt because that is what I have. Now to this, I have drained and rinsed 1 can of black beans. Now it calls for a ¼ teaspoon of cayenne pepper, which I don't use, but I do use a bit of black pepper, which it also calls for actually. Okay, so I was actually supposed to wait on those black beans, but oh well. Normally what you would do is you would cover it with your vegetable broth, let the vegetables all cook till tender, and then add your black beans, and I know that so the black beans don't fall apart. The recipe says 3 cups of vegetable broth, but I will tell you that my family loves broth, so they would be so disappointed if I only used 3 cups. So I just eyeball it, and this is what I love about soup. If there's ever a time to add in what you like and take out what you don't like, it is definitely with a soup, because you're just basically dumping in yummy things and then serving it when it's cooked. I don't know if this is available everywhere, but this is the brand that we like. Now, I'm gonna cover this, let it go to a low boil so that I can cook up my vegetables. Once I feel like it's really just the zucchini, honestly. Once I feel like the zucchini is soft enough, I will just turn it down to low or warm until I am ready to serve it. So you'll wanna boil it on its low boil on medium. All right, my potatoes are almost cooked, but I have a spare minute, so I'm gonna go ahead and add my bacon. What I do is I take kitchen scissors and I just cut it right into the soup. And whatever I think is a good bite-sized portion. Now I'm gonna add more chicken broth, and honestly, I got a different brand here because that's what the store has, so broth is broth. I've even used vegetable broth and no one knew the difference. Again, we use way more broth than anyone I know, but we like broth. The last thing to add to this is kale and about 1/8 cup of heavy cream. And I usually eyeball the cream, but I will say that most people would use the kale maybe 15 minutes before you're gonna serve because you're just letting it wilt. I'm gonna get it ready now, and then, you know, right before I serve, I stir in the cream. I don't want the cream sitting in there too long. So I put this back up to medium so that the potatoes can have a chance to finish cooking. As soon as the potatoes are cooked, I'll put it on low. And I'm gonna get my kale ready. I wanted to make sure I showed you these amazing rolls, because what is better with soup than rolls? I got these at Sam's Club. So they're dinner yeast rolls, and they only take 5 to 10 minutes to cook, and they're not kidding. I usually cook mine for 10 minutes at 350 degrees. So all I do is I lay parchment paper on my cookie sheet, and look, they're already pre-cooked, so you're really just heating them up. So you can take them frozen, put them on your cookie sheet, pop them in the oven at 350 degrees for 10 minutes, and they are beautiful, soft yeast rolls. So I'm taking my water off the island because Leo is trying to stick his foot in it. Oh my goodness. So if you don't have a Sam's Club, then maybe you can find these at Costco or something just like it. But be brave to try the ones that say just cook them for 10 minutes, because I'm telling you what, they are absolutely right, and they're beautiful. I would not know the difference.
Leo, do you think you could keep your feet out of my water? He wants his lunch, so if you want lunch, you do got to get attention from the humans, right? You don't want that. Yuckies.
So my kale is all washed up, and I just cut it with my kitchen scissors right into the soup pot. what I do is I cut along the stem to get the stem off, right? Because you don't want the stem, that's just nasty. And then I just cut small pieces, and I don't measure. I mean, what they call for zuppa for kale is a pretty small amount, and I love me some kale in my soup because it really soaks up all the flavors so well in the soup, and it also keeps its body, if that makes sense. You know, it doesn't, it's not like spinach that just completely dissipates. However, I will say, I know lots of people that use fresh spinach in their zuppa and love it. I would say spinach is a much less expensive as far as I know. So that is definitely something to consider. If I were to personally use spinach, I would probably add it in like 3 minutes before we were about to eat, because you know that's gonna wilt super fast. So my son and daughter-in-law are on their way, and this is their birthday / Christmas celebration. So this really is a Christmas meal for us. And we're gonna do the charcuterie boards at night because that's easy. I can just slap those things right on the island. I'll be sure to show you that. I boiled eggs yesterday because those of us who are gonna do this in a Cobb salad or a chef salad are gonna want egg. I have ham, sandwich ham. I have salami, American cheese, salad. I have 3 different types of salad bags, like a Veggie Lovers, the Farmer's one, and then we have like 3 different kinds of lettuce. What else do I have? Obviously the bacon that I've been cooking will go down on there. Pickles, tomatoes, black olives, onions, not green pepper because I used it in the soup, but we'll live. We don't need green pepper. I might have a stray one in there that I don't know about, so I'll check. I also bought pineapple, strawberries, raspberries, and I can't remember if my husband bought blueberries or blackberries, so I can't really film while they're here very well, but I will definitely at least give you a snapshot of that so that you can see in case that's something that you would like to try as well. Now, I noticed I might need a little bit more broth in here. Well, I guess I don't need more broth because I don't have any more. So I'm gonna wash up my pans, get my rolls ready to go, cover this. I'm gonna let it just marinate, you know, let it do its thing. I'm gonna show you what I've got so far, and then I'll show it to you again when I add the cream. So here is our zuppa. Meat lovers, oh, there you go. Meat lovers soup for sure, but still quite healthy with that kale going on in there. And then here is that beautiful tortilla soup. Let me get out something I can show it to you with. Look at that. And we love to put Tostito chips in it. You can top it with cheese. You can put a little sour cream in it, whatever you like. I would also say that my son loves to put grated cheese on his zuppa. So I'm going to cover those both up, let them simmer until it's time to eat, and get my rolls ready to be put in the oven. And that is going to be a meal that pleases everyone. It would be easy to do it the day before, put it in the refrigerator, take it out, heat it up, because honestly, soup tends to be better the second time around as a leftover. So if you start there, boy, it's going to taste awesome. My next idea is using my whole kitchen island as a charcuterie board. People can make a Cobb salad or a chef salad. They could make a large sandwich, or they could just pick and choose the food they like and put it on their plate because I've got lots of protein, vegetables, and fruit. Here we have the festive plates, some goat cheese, chips, and the dips, buttermilk ranch and regular ranch, ranch salad dressing because we are all about ranch. Salad base, we get the cherry tomatoes, rolls for anyone who wants sandwiches, a multitude of different pickles, hard-boiled eggs, there's our meat and cheese, salami, pepperoni ham, provolone and American, and then here's our vegetables of tomatoes, cucumbers with and without skin, red onions, black olives,
pineapple, grapes, strawberries, watermelon. And there it is. So easy. People can be having sandwiches, or they can have salad, or they can just pick what they like and eat it. So easy.
My final idea is especially for young children because it is a fun pizza bar where kids get to make their own pizza. You can do a homemade pizza crust, and I do have a video that is an amazing pizza crust recipe. I'll also leave that linked below. But if you want to do it speedy, we love these Chef Boyardee pizza makers. So I bought myself 2 boxes, which is actually 4 pizzas, and I'm going to mix the whole thing. And then what we like to do is everybody gets a pie plate. I'm just going to oil these pie plates, and we'll spread the dough out amongst as many people as we have, and then they can come construct their own pizzas. And that way everybody has on top of it whatever they like. And then I also have a lot of toppings prepared that I will show you in just a minute when I get done putting these crusts together. So I'm just going completely by what the box says to do, which is basically dumping in the dry mix and adding water, right? And then you're oiling the outside of it, and that's pretty much it. It's really simple. So if you want something that tastes homemade but you didn't go through the whole process with the yeast, this is a great option. Or you could just get like one of those pre-made crusts, and you could just cut it, you know, into the sizes that you want, top them, and put them in the oven. Now, of course, you don't have to use these pie plates. You could put them on stones or cookie sheets and just do as many as fit, however you want to do it.
Let it come to bloom. Joyful Christmas news. Hope will find its way to you. Hope will find its way.
Here are the toppings that we enjoy. These are all the veggies. I like to have the veggies separated from meat, so I have black olives, tomatoes, green peppers. These are also green peppers because I got a package that was already done by the store. Red onions, yellow peppers, red bell peppers, and did I say mushrooms? And then over here we have pepperoni and ham. So you could have whatever you want. It's also a great way to use up leftovers.
My dough is now completely risen. Of course, I had an option to do a little bit of dough at a time. That might have made it a little bit easier, but you know, when you have a crowd, you just want to do as much as you can all at once. So there's, see, 6 of us. So I'm going to take 6 pie plates, and I'm going to spray them with oil. And you could put a little bit of flour in the bottom too to help the dough not to stick. And just spray them and then just spread around the oil. And I got 5. Well, here's the 6. And then people can come in one by one and make their pizzas, and then we're going to put them in the oven that's all preheated to 425 degrees. And it should take about 20 minutes. So even if not everyone can put theirs in at the same time, you know, it doesn't take that long. And I will say that sometimes, depending on your oven, if you're putting a lot in the oven that's covering a big amount of space, it might take a little bit longer. It's just something where you're going to want to keep an eye on. So I tend to just kind of cut the dough. I know I want 6 pieces. Whoops. So I'm cutting it in half, and then each half, if I just cut it into thirds, that's going to give me about what I need for each pizza pan. And if it's super wet, this is actually super wet, see? You know, you can oil your hands, you can put some flour in here. I'm just going for it. There's no perfect science to this. You're just spreading out the pizza dough. I mean, honestly, You can oil your hands or put flour on them. And you know, you can let young kids do this. They might have fun. But even if they don't get it to the edges, it really doesn't matter. It's about them having something that makes them happy on Christmas. And what kid doesn't love pizza? So it's a great way to handle kids that might have picky palates. And usually when kids get to make something, they're a lot more willing to eat it. So I've got my dough, and I can just put on however much sauce I want. This was the sauce that came with the Chef Boyardee. And if you feel like you're going to have a shortage of sauce, even spaghetti sauce. I've used spaghetti sauce for years on pizza and nobody ever complained or even knew the difference. Then I can come in with my cheese. And toppings.
This is so fun. I've used it for birthday parties over the years, and even though my kids are older, they still love it, and everyone's pizza is completely unique. No one's actually even looks the same.
The previous video where I talked about burrito bowls is linked up here. All you have to do is click on it, and I also have a video that YouTube has chosen based on things that you like. And I will see you in the next one. Remember, as always, that God loves you and I love you too. I can't wait to see you next time.